good game. There's two 16-year-olds. They both go to Holy Name, and they were nice. They were nice, and they played physical and ended up hitting a game winner. They won on a game winner. It was 9-9, went into overtime. But my good friend Jalen Dotton ended up winning with his team, so proud of that. At least someone from Southbridge brought it home, you know.
So what was your stat line? Let me hear your stat line.
My stat line was didn't take the last shot.
You pulled the LeBron on him.
I should have. I did pull a LeBron on him. I absolutely did.
Passed it up when you should have took the shot, man.
Yep, absolutely. How was your week, guys? Let me hear about your week. I know you guys had a great week as well. Looking forward to Sunday. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty eager to get here every Sunday. You know?
Yes. Always.
This is fun. It's fun to do something that we love. Shout out to Sir Jan for the opportunity. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. So let me know, how was your week, guys?
My week has been busy. Working on this. You know, I appreciate being here. So, I put a lot of work into it, you know.
Have to.
And, you know, I got another job, so it's been busy, you know, but I keep my head up, stay positive, and keep going, you know.
That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. What about you, Camacho?
Same here. Work. And then wait till Sunday. That's what we live for, man.
Yeah.
Love to
Favorite
talk.
part of the weekend.
Sunday, I think about it from after the show's finished. Oh, man, I can't wait for next Sunday.
Exactly.
But
me too.
It's been a good week.
That's what's up. Now, just wanted to let all the listeners know we take calls at any time. You can call in at 508-943-8320. We debate about anything and everything, so go ahead and give us a call if you'd like. We'll talk to anybody about anything. So, leading into our first segment, we wanted to talk about some local news and also some nationwide news. Chris Berman of ESPN, who we all know has had a reduced role. He actually started with ESPN back in 1979. He's been the only guy that's been there from day one till today, you know, but he used to do the NFL countdowns and the NFL, I think it's Monday Night Football he used to be on.
Top plays and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, he had a lot of different segments on that show, but we had some sad news coming from his family this week when his wife passed away in Connecticut. She actually passed away this week in a car accident. It was very sad to hear that because it was his chance to finally come home. You know, he took the reduced role, wanted to come home, spend time with the family, and it's just sad that something like that had to hit at that time, you know. I was reading a little bit into it, and I heard that, you know, that she was basically the main reason he took the reduced role. You know, it wasn't ESPN bugging him to get offset or anything like that, but it's just sad to hear that, you know. And my prayers and condolences are definitely with the Berman family. I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on that now.
Just dealing with a loss is tough, you know, but he's doing the right thing. He's staying behind his family, and you want to take a little break and, you know, just kind of reminisce on the good times with your wife, and he's doing the right things. I can't fault him. You can't blame him for doing what he's doing, you know. After a tough loss, you don't want to be on air right away and you know, and speaking because you're full of emotions. You just lost the love of your life. It's not like this girl was a distant cousin, but it's the love of his life. So my prayers go out to him and his family. Just dealing with any type of loss, that's something you can't prepare for, you know.
Especially on the day today, Mother's Day, you know. It's very
absolutely.
sad
It is sad.
to not have your mother there, you know.
Okay, so look at that. We got our first caller here. We're going to go ahead and take that now. I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues here. I wanted to talk about the Madden curse, and I'll go last. Go ahead, Camacho. Let them know.
The Madden curse, it happens to everybody. Calvin Johnson got it.
Adrian Peterson.
Remember that year that they put Troy Polamalu and Larry Fitzgerald on it?
Yeah.
And they both got hurt.
They had Gronk, too.
Gronk's always getting hurt, though.
Gronk is always getting hurt.
He's getting hurt all the
You think he'll
time.
be traded?
I don't know about him getting traded, but if he gets hurt one more time,
He's out.
it's rather retire or go to the Cleveland Browns, which you're going to get hurt again. But the curse is real. I believe it. Every time I buy the game, it happened. I don't know if I'm the curse or the
played all the games.
or the Madden cover curse is.
Yeah.
But if it does happen, I don't wish Brady to get hurt, but Brady's in the way of my Pittsburgh Steelers. So if the curse happens, let it be a minor toe injury or something in the AFC Championship game so we can advance to the Super Bowl.
They should just have a team cover, you know. The whole team just they're all admitted. Injuries, all of them.
The whole team gets cursed. Imagine. I mean, I feel like that happened to the Detroit Lions when Calvin Johnson was on the cover.
Yeah, the whole team.
The whole team got injured while they were still playing, but they performed poorly.
Yeah, they did.
But what do you think about the Madden curse?
I think the Madden curse I think it's real, to be honest. I mean,
happened every year.
It's happened every year, and it's star players too that get injured, so it's a big deal, I guess, for all players.
Last year.
Yeah.
And especially that we're in the state of Massachusetts, I want to hear what people got to say about this Madden curse. Do you think that Madden's doing it? Do you think that they don't want the Patriots to win no more?
Change the name. 2K has it.
I mean,
2K15,
he has had
2K16, they have NBA Live. Change it to NFL.
True. And he has had, plenty of opportunities to put Brady on the cover before.
Yeah.
So why is he doing it now?
Yes.
But before we move on with that Madden curse talk, we got Tom on the line right now, and he wanted to give us a little thought on what he thinks is going to happen with the NBA Finals this year. Go ahead, Tom. How you doing tonight, man?
What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Tom. How you doing tonight, man?
TJ, you there? Well, looks like we're developing some phone issues.
Tom? Hey, Tom, you still there?
There you go.
Okay, there it is. Sorry about that, Tom. That was a little bit of a technical difficulty. So go ahead, Tom. Tell us what you think about the NBA.
LeBron's not gonna win. I'm telling you this now, TJ. I'm telling you this. LeBron's not gonna win. He just because. Listen. I'm gonna tell you why LeBron's not gonna win. He came down from. I want to say it was the greatest comeback, but he's not gonna do that again. And now they added Kevin Durant to the team. Well, that's if the Warriors make it. Because if the Spurs make it, LeBron's not averaging more than, I want to say, 20 points a game because Kawhi's going to have him on clamps.
Is he talking about championships or MVP?
No, the finals.
Finals?
But who's he playing?
He's playing, yeah. Put him in the Western Conference. He won't get out of Western Conference undefeated. I tell you that.
I agree
A
with
super
that.
team.
I agree with that.
Tom, at least you got. Yeah, Tom, at least you got one person here on your side. Georgie's on your side. And I'm a Celtics fan.
But LeBron sweeping, that's because he's...
Big time Celtics fan, man. I've been loving the Celtics since.
All the way.
Oh, so you got Wizards in Game 7? Oh, I'm sorry. We're in Boston.
Yeah, we're in Boston. The
I have
crowd's
a
going
feeling
wild.
I have a feeling it's gonna go.
Yeah,
You think
they're
John
gonna show
Wall?
off.
John Wall's going to come in clutch?
I think Isaiah's gonna show off.
So you think it's going to be the Wizards versus the Cavs? What do you think that that final outcome is going to be?
It's a good matchup.
That is a good matchup.
Oh, man. But then you can say that LeBron has no competition, and even Draymond Green is saying he has no competition.
4-0 Boston.
Warriors. I think Draymond Green can't talk. He has a super team.
He does have a super team.
Yeah, they got out of there easily.
He is the least factor on that super team.
Oh.
Let me ask you this, Tom.
They have been sweeping.
This is a question you might be able to enlighten my boys with. Did they need KD to beat LeBron?
Maybe.
They took him to the finals, Game 7. What was it?
I don't know. LeBron somehow came back 3-1.
Yeah, he came back. So
He did.
So is TJ?
I think they can.
TJ, answer this. Is Kevin Durant the Messiah in beating LeBron James?
Ooh.
That's a good point.
Thank you very much for the call, Tom. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Shout out to
You as well.
TJ.
Take it easy.
One
Shout
of
out to
Nichols'
TJ.
finest. Kevin Durant could. I feel like he's gonna give them problems.
You think Kevin Durant takes LeBron James?
Not Kevin Durant himself, but now he has what, 3 other people that he can depend on, and not just Russ. Even though that Kevin Durant was the reason they didn't beat OKC. I mean, the reason they didn't beat the Warriors, and he jumped ship. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
But mismatch, who's gonna guard KD? Because LeBron can't guard literally the 1 through 5 every time he's on there.
You can't. But I think they'll put him on KD, get Kyrie and J.R. Smith on Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and it's going to be a battle down low.
It is.
It's going to be Draymond versus, what's his name, Tristan Thompson?
I would like that. I would like to see that because there's never been two undefeated teams in the playoffs that got into the finals, right?
Well, just to disagree with your boy TJ, I definitely think it's going to be Boston, Cleveland. But
That's being biased.
hey, it is being a little biased, but we are at home. We got the upper hand in my eyes. They needed a game winner to beat us the other night in their own court. I feel like we played the better game. We just didn't finish better.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So, I actually want to talk to Georgie about this because we had this conversation earlier about John Wall not shooting the 3 ball. George, take me back to that play, George. That final possession. What did John Wall take?
You know what? I'm gonna look this right now. I'm gonna look this up right now. I'm pretty sure he was 2 for 6 from the 3-point line.
He was having a bad game.
He was
I know that.
He was. His field goal position wasn't good. He couldn't go in.
But Georgie's plan was let him shoot the 3. And what happened?
Well, he saw the perfect opportunity with Avery Bradley backing up for some reason.
I know. I didn't understand that. I didn't
Avery
understand
Bradley.
that.
Dude, you guard people from half
From the
court.
3-point
What are you
line.
doing? What are you doing there, bud? I don't understand.
He took the George approach.
Nah, he backed down.
He took the George
I was
approach.
I was upset. I was like, yo, you better put that defense on him. Like, you're one of the best defenders in the league.
I give it to him. Perimeter.
And he just laid it on you, like, easily. Like, he don't hand up or anything. It's like, what?
Yeah, he was 2 for 5 the other night.
But he did back up. And that's something that people would say about John Wall. But did you hear what he said in his interview? That's a shot he's practiced before plenty of times.
You heard what he said?
What?
You don't wear black to my city.
I mean, that is disrespectful to Celtics.
He did it first.
So what?
He did it first.
But what was it in his home court?
Were they at home?
They were at
Really?
they were at Washington when they
Okay.
did it. Boston just took it to the limit.
Why you guys did that?
Because we're Boston. That's Boston right there. That's,
Yeah.
That's something Boston would do, you know?
And it came down to that shot.
It came down to that shot, and it wasn't a lucky shot because it was an open shot. I think it was an open shot that he got.
You know what luck is? Luck is when chance meets opportunity. And John Wall definitely took that. He was breaking down the play. The play wasn't even supposed to go to him. It was supposed to go to Bradley Beal.
Right.
But John Money making Wall. Remember the slept on first round pick out of Kentucky?
Number 1 pick.
He made a big statement.
Yeah,
Big
he
statement.
He did. It's about time. It's about time because they haven't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals with John Wall yet. That's what they brought him in for.
Mhm.
That's what they brought Bradley Beal there for. But I think the Celtics got them with that bench, bro. We're just deeper
Yeah,
than them.
we're
And we're gonna be
deeper.
playing at home. We got the energy. I think it's over Game 7. But I do agree with your boy TJ. It's gonna be a mop job in Cleveland, no matter who goes. But I'm gonna still be rooting for my team. I still got faith. But LeBron is LeBron. When you got LeBron on your team, that is the ultimate X factor. Just so you know. And you know, we talk a lot about hypotheticals off the air, and no one ever takes into consideration when we're talking about 90s basketball, for example. If you're gonna put LeBron in 90s basketball, you gotta understand you gotta give him that 90s mentality. So how would a 6'8", 270 freight train not excel in that type of physical league? You guys answer me that.
A 6'8". You said crybaby?
Freight train.
Oh, I thought I heard because LeBron is so used to going to the rack and someone sneezing on him and them
Then he
calling a
falls.
foul.
The only freight train that falls down when Lance Stevenson blows on him.
Exactly. Or when his own teammate hits him in the jaw and he flies 15 feet back half court.
Best player.
I don't know. LeBron would. I mean, he would obviously excel, but he would he would cry too much for that era. And back then, have you ever went on YouTube and wrote NBA fights?
Have you ever
LeBron's in it. Every one of the videos.
Have you
Crying.
ever been on YouTube and looked up the series between Jordan and the bad boys from Pistons?
Oh yeah.
But there
Oh,
are
yeah.
the bad boys.
Listen.
All three of them?
Look at how good that team
Listen.
was.
Something
Who's the
that
crybaby?
LeBron has never ever faced a team like that, like the Bad Boys, the Knicks, the New York Knicks. What team?
Really?
The Celtics.
What team?
Really? LeBron has never faced a team that has tried to body him? Really?
What team?
Every single team tries to body LeBron.
Nah.
When he was on Miami, see, we were talking about this earlier.
Don't
that
bring it up.
2011 year.
The
When
Mavericks.
he was on Miami, dude was trying to say that Dallas didn't have a great roster. What just okay or good roster is going to dethrone one of the greatest assembled teams of all time? They made their team, guys. Come on.
I
Come on.
tell you this right now. If it was Michael, he would have swept them.
And
He
I'm
would've swept.
I'm gonna say something because
Swept.
we had this earlier, and one of my buddies of mine who's a Nichols College alum himself,
Oh, he did his homework.
Mike Mendez too. He was saying, "Oh, that great players, this and that." But when you look at Jordan, Jordan never allowed the game to get out of hand, so that's why he never had to do what LeBron did.
Mm-hmm.
After getting Scotty and Charles Barkley and
Listen,
who else was it?
LeBron didn't win anything until he left.
LeBron isn't the only one that passed in the clutch either. Steve Kerr. But we have a segment for it tonight too.
Oh yes, Steve Kerr is coming up.
Yeah.
But back to that 2011 series.
You really don't think that Dirk team, Jason Terry, who got a tattoo at the beginning of the year and said he was winning the championship. His tattoo was of the NBA Finals
NBA
trophy.
Finals trophy,
He
yeah.
said he was winning the championship. You think they're not coming out there playing hard?
I mean,
Jason Kidd at point guard.
Well, they were up
you could
in the finals,
It doesn't matter.
and they
That team
started.
was great.
And then
They were-
and then LeBron started talking. Miami started talking, and Dirk came out.
they were up
Dirk
2-1.
played a hell of a game.
They were up 2-1 and lost the next 3 games. And the average age of the Mavericks team was probably like 30. Yo, they had
30,
Jason Kidd
yeah.
at 37 years old. You're telling me Jason Kidd at 37 years old is a clutch factor or an X factor in any series?
a better point guard than Mario Chalmers.
Are you
Oh yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
guys huffing and puffing walking
They-
up the court?
Oh yeah,
they had
because you
JJ
watched every single game and watched Jason Kidd in the one of the
They
last
had
games.
JJ Barea started.
JJ Barea killed the Miami.
You know where JJ Barrera went to college?
Somewhere in PR?
No.
Where?
Northeastern, Boston, Massachusetts, baby.
Oh.
Look that up.
And how tall is he?
He's taller than Camacho.
I can make an argument about that because he got these souls in his shoes. But no, back to this 2011 series. I'm tired of them saying LeBron is. You can't be great and blow a 2. I know it's only a 1 game, but you cannot lose the next 3. If anything, you have to force a game 7, which Jordan never allowed.
Uh-huh.
Jordan came in every finals with a business card and said, "I'm Michael Jordan and I'm here to win in 4 to 6 games." LeBron's business card is, okay, I'm going to take you to probably game 7, but I might win. But I have, on my resume, I have 4 more losses than my wins.
So
So,
how about this? Wouldn't you say, in a way, I'm gonna make this connection right here. Golden State Warriors thought they needed Kevin Durant to beat LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think of, since they drafted most of their players, we'll go with them being the Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean? So the Chicago Bulls needed Dennis Rodman to go for that last three-peat, right?
Yeah.
So why don't they get shunned for stuff like that? Just because Scotty and Mike were drafted. Just because they were drafted doesn't change the fact that he needed them to win. That's why I'm saying when LeBron had the chance to either stay or leave Cleveland, I was even mad. You know, I would never do that to the Celtics if they had drafted me number 1.
Yeah,
But that's just me. LeBron saw that Cleveland wasn't giving him the opportunities he needed.
That's true.
So he went and made his team.
He
Plain and
went, but
simple.
he went to another team. That's the only thing that went wrong with LeBron James. Instead of, winning a championship at his hometown, which I don't shun him for that because they didn't build around him like
you
they
hear what you
did
just
with
said, John?
Steph Curry.
You literally just said that the only thing wrong was him leaving his hometown, and then you said you don't shun him for that.
I don't.
What?
Like I don't
That don't make no sense.
Listen. I don't get mad. I mean,
Okay,
for him
I see what you mean.
for him leaving because he was in a bad. They had nobody in the Cleveland. Mo Williams, Sasha, Vujovic, Anderson Varejao,
Nah,
which
it
he
was
was
Sacha
in.
Pavlovich or
Pavlovich or something like that.
Big Z.
Big
at the end of
Z.
his career.
They didn't have nobody. He had to leave Cleveland to get
Yeah,
a championship.
That's why I'm saying I can't blame him for going out and making his legacy. You know what I mean? It's just I feel like a lot of these Jordan lovers, as I like to call them, you know, I feel like they just fall on that. The fact that he went and made his own team. I see that as actually innovative. I see that as a great thing.
So you
Because ain't
think-
nobody done what he's done before.
So-
Why you think LeBron is basically the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers?
That's not
Was
true.
Michael Jordan ever in charge of a team like that?
He didn't have
Do
to.
you-
He didn't have to. That's
He was in the court.
Okay,
You're
but
not
that's just one more thing you can put on LeBron James' resume. On top of the fact that by the time LeBron retires, guys, if he does get to 5-6 rings, we got a call by the way. But if he does get to 5-6 rings, and he is #1 in scoring, and he basically is in the top 10 of rebounds and assists, it's over. He's the greatest. Go ahead and take over,
I give
guys.
it to him.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this call.
So Camacho, you think that LeBron leaving to go to Miami?
97 points.
You think that was his team in Miami?
No, that's where George is wrong.
That's what I'm saying. He felt like LeBron
Yeah,
built
no.
Miami. Miami was already built.
LeBron didn't build. LeBron was recruited
Mhm.
into Miami
Mhm.
by who? The Flash.
The Flash and Chris Bosh. Knowing that Chris Bosh came, he already knew. He was like, I'm going in. I'm going with these guys. I'm
Come
going
on,
to win
that's,
the championship.
you can't
And they didn't
claim
even
that
win
team.
it the first year.
So if that was LeBron's team, right? So LeBron lost in the 2011 Finals. Case closed.
Mhm.
If that's his team, if you want to claim all that, oh, this is my team, so then you take full responsibility of that loss.
Mhm.
Okay, so while we're on this topic, that boy Mike that you was just talking about, talking crazy about.
I'm
He's
ready.
about to try and set
I'm
you up
ready
real
for this
quick.
one.
So Mike, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Actually, Mike is actually a Nichols Bison as well, 4-year player on this football team. Congratulations, Mike. Very proud of you for graduating, man. I remember when you came over a few years ago, first time I met you, you were a great guy, funny guy. So, not funny guy, let this funny guy near me know what's good.
Let me hear it. No. Talk to me about that 3-1. I want to hear this 3-1. Let me hear this. Okay, so I believe that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with you.
Okay. And I'm a,
He's a crybaby too.
you forgetting
But
about
the thing is that you think Michael Jordan didn't have moments like that. Like LeBron James had people helping him, like Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Who did Mike have? Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen.
Who?
Greatest rebound
greatest.
of all time.
The greatest? Did you just say the greatest? As in top
Bill
5?
Russell.
Dennis Rodman is definitely
He
the
averaged
greatest
22
rebounder of all
Oh my
time.
23
God.
rebounds per season.
He was undersized. That's a big plus.
We can go back and talk about Wilt and
Okay.
Bill Russell all day.
Okay,
but
now-
they were in a league that they were the biggest guys, the toughest guys, most physical. Nobody was rebounding with them.
Okay, but
Exactly. True. Yep. Yep. Yep.
and off the court and the GM.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I have a player that good, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. But exactly. Now, Mendez, stay on the line. We're going to keep on talking this. I just wanted to shout out our presenters, WNRC and Nichols College Radio. Also, New Era Radio presenting INNFO8 Debates. We're on the air from 10 p.m. to midnight every Sunday. So tune in. You can always tune in on YouTube Live at the INNFO8 Debates page. We're on live right now. You can go right ahead and go on the YouTube Live chat, ask any questions, talk about any debate things, and we can try to get it on the air as well. Also wanted to shout out Sir Jam. Thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, so let's get back into this conversation. I just want to see if we can finally let Camacho see the light. This boy has never even seen Mike play live.
Highlights.
And
I
he
like
defends
that.
him like his, whew.
But that's my brother.
It's the stats. It's the papers. So.
Why, because he was born in Brooklyn?
But no, Mendez, honestly, like I said, you can't go down in the big games. And that's something Jordan didn't allow. That's what I don't understand why people make this argument. Yeah, LeBron has the greatest numbers, da-da-da. He has all these numbers in the regular season, but that don't matter.
He passes
Let me ask
out
you
a lot of
a
shots.
question, Mendez. Ready? I'm going to break this down for you. LeBron is 3 for 7. Is that a passing grade on the test?
Not yet.
But that's not a passing
And
test.
that boy just graduated.
That's not a passing test. I would go 6 for 6 with a man who's never went to a game 7. That's really all. That's what I want you guys.
You-
It doesn't matter about the ring.
100%.
You saying Mike hasn't been to a game 7 is like me saying LeBron hasn't lost in the first round.
But then no.
Yes, absolutely. It's the same thing. That's a pointless stat. Old Lakers team at the end of that wasn't showtime
But look
no
at the
more.
journey.
That
Look
was
at the
slow
journey.
time.
Look at the journey Jordan had to go through. LeBron never experienced the tough East like Jordan did.
Who was
That's-
tough?
The Pistons and all
Detroit,
that.
the
Are you
Knicks.
kidding me? The Knicks? What? I understand the Knicks didn't win a ring, but
Choke artist Patrick Ewing from Massachusetts.
I
Love you, Patrick.
that's Steph.
You're right.
I mean, beating LeBron is hard, but he people beat him more than he beats them. 3 for 7. You know who else went to the finals 7 times? And matter of fact, I hate when people even mention LeBron and MJ. Don't skip over my guy and one of your favorite players, I bet, Kobe Bryant, who went 5 for 2. And how? Okay.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
So LeBron is the best player in the league.
Best player in the league.
In the league right now.
Okay, but LeBron's probably the worst superstar to ever play in the finals. Then, in my eyes, I don't care. I don't care what nobody says right now because you want to be the
How?
greatest of all time. How? When you lose four
You can-
times?
You can
He's
say
been there
so
finally, man.
many. You can say so many. Dude, Charles Barkley was a superstar that went to the finals.
What is
Gary
that?
Payton, Sean Kemp, superstars
But
that went
these
to the
aren't
finals.
big names. These are
What?
They aren't the names that we're talking
This
about
guy
here.
said Hall of Famers.
No, but they're
Aren't
not.
big names.
They're not the two people that we're talking about.
There
We're
were
talking
two
about
people
the
going
GOAT.
against the GOAT.
And
in
what
your
happened?
eyes.
And what happened?
They lost.
Exactly. Why?
They were their only part of their team. Stockton Malone, only part of their team. Name one other person in that starting five. Okay.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Havlicek.
What about the Portland Trailblazers team they beat? Come on.
Clyde
I'm pretty sure
Drexler.
at the end of his career,
And
not 80s Clyde Drexler.
He was still scoring like 22 points, 24
I'm pretty
points.
sure Clyde Drexler was in college in the 70s, bro.
and I got a comment
He's-
on. I got a comment,
He
right?
still had a team.
Somebody said that during the 1990s when Jordan was in the finals, they played the Lakers, right?
Yep.
Who won MVP that year? Did it Magic win it?
Wasn't he coming back from
From
the whole
his
HIV
own
thing that year,
retire,
though?
I don't know, but
That's probably why he got MVP. It's a popularity contest, as you can see this year
Yeah,
with
yes,
Russell
it is,
Westbrook.
yeah.
that's a popular. Oh my God! Now,
We don't even want to get into that.
All right.
We're gonna go right into our next segment. We're gonna all agree to disagree, and I just wanted to get my boy Mike Mendez's opinion on our next segment as well. Just to end off our hot topic segment, we're gonna talk about offensive rookie of the year. Who you got? Who you picking? Do you want me to go first? Cause I'll just chew all you guys up real quick, cause it's gonna happen what I'm about to say. All right. So honestly, I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey because he is in a perfect situation. They got a nice defense down there. They got Cam Newton. They got a pretty good structure. That team was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They only lost one game. You know, if they can get that offensive line to give Cam Newton a little more time, I think Christian McCaffrey might be a little bit of a sleeper. People been sleeping on him. He went to Stanford. He ate at Stanford, but since he didn't come out with the Heisman, he's getting overlooked. But hey, I think Christian McCaffrey would definitely have my pick. Oh yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
and mm-hmm. And the best defense.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with Deshaun. I want to ask you why. What do you think? Why? What makes you say that he's not NFL ready? And he's not gonna put up numbers. He beat Alabama. Those are grown men on defense,
True.
and he beat them driving the ball and with a walk-on wide receiver. And now he has these targets who are pro, and they have the what's his name, Will Fuller, from Notre Dame as well.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year.
So that Texan squad is going to be a
Won
problem.
me a couple fantasy games, that boy. Yeah, he does.
But I agree with you. Deshaun he might win it. I don't see why not. I mean, he did beat what's this guy's name from? Is it Louisville? The quarterback
Jackson.
Jackson. He beat him. Big moments. People were going against him. So I mean, players like that, they have chips on their shoulder, and they got to show the NFL what's gonna go on. I'm surprised that the Cleveland Browns passed up on him. His coach even said, if you pass up on Deshaun Watson, that's like passing up on Michael Jordan.
That's
crazy.
I like that.
Back to
Mike,
like
nice,
that.
nice talking to you, Mike.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you, Mike. Man, yeah, you be good out there, brother.
That Texans squad is going to be a beast. They were statistically ranked the #1 defense last year.
So you got Deshaun Watson as your rookie of the year?
Why not? He got all the pieces. They got Lamar Miller as running back, Will Fuller, Deshaun, what's his name? Hopkins. That's a Clemson Tiger himself. That chemistry is going to be too crazy, and he has a lot to fall back on with his #1 ranked defense.
My pick is Leonard Fournette.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a
Because
good pick.
they compare him to Ezekiel Elliott. The only thing is, the offensive line of the Jaguars is not the same as the Cowboys'
They need help.
offensive line. If they get pieces to help that squad, and he's gonna get a lot of touches. They got Cam Robinson that picked up in the second round. Hopefully he succeeds. You know, he's quick in building. You know.
Yep, learning
So-
the game real quick because it's a different game coming
Yeah,
from
it
college.
is a
to the
different game.
NFL.
It is. So that's
Absolutely.
my pick.
Absolutely. I like that pick. Yeah, not a lot of people would pick
No.
Leonard Fournette down there in Jacksonville.
He kind of slipped my mind.
He was there with Christian McCaffrey right there, top running backs in college, right?
He kind of slipped my mind. I'm not even that. Even that
sleeper.
Jacksonville. That Jacksonville team is really good.
But we say this every year, guys. And
That
then-
is true.
And then we pick them in the pools, and then we lose.
And they have they have an easy conference too. It's not like they have a hard conference. What, Texans and Colts?
That conference
Isn't that?
it's not good.
That
Yeah.
Colts fan just admitted that his
I'm-
Colts suck.
You're a Colts fan?
Yeah.
I'm so
it's just
sorry.
my. I know.
Okay.
We've been in a drought.
We're going to take one more call before we go ahead and give you guys a PCA. So, guys, tell me more about the Colts. Let me know how bad they are.
Man,
What's been going on down there?
the coaching,
Simple, huh?
the offensive line, the chemistry is. I don't know what it is. It's just Andrew Luck getting hurt, playing through injury. That's
Can I
not
have
a good
comment?
That
Can I
is
have
for
a
him
little comment?
to play. You know,
Try to
it's,
prove your point real
Yeah,
quick.
it shortens your career. You know,
And he's a tough guy.
he is a tough
Out
guy.
of Stanford, he's a really tough guy.
A great player.
But you know one thing that they say about Andrew Luck?
Yep.
He's too nice.
He's
So-
too nice. Yeah.
He'll get hit. He'll
He'll
get
get a compliment.
Good job, buddy. You
Yeah.
don't need that as your quarterback. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback because he is proven.
He's a great guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
But on the field, you
You
got
gotta
to
be
be a
tough.
monster.
You gotta be tough. You gotta be a Tom Brady. Yell at
Oh my God.
somebody.
A Tom Brady.
He said,
A Tom Brady. I give it. He has that fire, that drive.
yeah.
But you do need to idolize Tom Brady then. I guess you need to make yourself play like that guy. It's just something about him.
I mean, they need a scorer. The Colts have a great receivers. T.Y. Hilton
T.Y.
is a great wide receiver. They got Frank Gore.
All right.
That he's
I
still
want
still
you-
establishing.
Hey,
He's
hey,
still doing
I
good.
want you to
I mean,
say it just
they just need
like
to
that.
build around
Okay.
Luck. He's just
like
And that defense needs a lot of help.
the defense needs a lot of help too. They need a
The
cornerback.
Colts defense hasn't been anywhere near the
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison years.
Always has been like that. Always.
I don't know what's been going on.
See, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little terrified to put this collar on because he is about to own me.
Uh-oh.
And when I say own me, I mean really own me. Like take me to the back and pull the trigger on me.
What is the subject?
Okay, so he just wanted to add a quick little blurb about Michael Jordan
Oh.
and how I had a little something to say about MJ. He's about to own me. But go ahead, sir. Let everybody know your name and let them know what you're talking about.
You hear that?
I hear that. I'm all sad
The
over here.
reason Magic retired was because of the HIV virus. Magic in 1991, I got the stats right in front of me. He averaged 12.5 assists a game, 7 rebounds a game off 50% shooting. Worthy was giving you 22 a night. Sam Perkins was giving you 13 a night. Byron Scott giving you 15 a night. Vlade Divac 15 a night. Iron Man, AC Green played 600 games straight in his career, averaging 10 and 6 also. And, you know, even though they didn't have Kareem, it didn't matter. in 1989 when they won with Kareem was done anyways. He was averaging like 9 points a game, and they beat the Pistons in 7 games.
Let me ask
So
you
let's
a
go
question.
now. The Suns of '93. You had Barkley MVP year 25, 12, and 6. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys scoring double digits. The Blazers in '92. You had 7 guys also in double figures. Drexler was in the prime of his career. He was 29 years old, averaging 25, 6, and 6 per game.
Okay.
And then you look at Jordan. The thing about this is the difference between Jordan and LeBron, right? So when Jordan lost, right, Jordan never played terrible. You look at that 2011 finals. The reason he's bringing it up is because LeBron in Game 4 had 8 points. He averaged 17 points a game in that finals, and he had 4 straight terrible fourth quarters. When he lost
He
against
did.
the Celtics in 2010, yeah, I watched that game. It was tied 2-2. It was in Cleveland. Game 5. LeBron looked like he didn't want to be there. He had 15 points. You look at his career, when he melts down, when he has bad games, when his team loses, he usually plays terrible.
I
Now look
absolutely
at Jordan, right? I'll show you guys right now. 86 against Boston, right? His first playoff run. Averaged 43 points a game. 87 the next year against Boston. 35, 7, and 6. 88 when he lost to the Pistons. He still gave them like 28, 8 a night. So he had certain playoff series where he averaged 45 a game, 43 a game. You look at every year, 1990, the last time he didn't win a championship. Pippen only averaged 14 points a game, and Jordan had them in Game 7 against the Pistons. And Pippen had migraine headaches in Game 7, went 1 for 10. Horace Grant went 3 for 15. Jordan still almost beat the Pistons, who went on to sweep the Lakers in the finals. Now look at Pippen. The first year he entered his prime, averaged 17 points a game in 91. The Bulls never lost a championship again, except for the year he came back from baseball. So this whole idea that he had like this crazy amount of help and that he had these guys doing all these numbers. 1998 finals, Game 6, Pippen had a back injury, had 8 points. Jordan had 45. Jordan never really had the offensive help that LeBron had, and he never played bad even when he lost. Even against the Magic in 95, he still gave them 31 a night. So, I mean, this whole notion that he faced these guys, the Jazz only had 2. Come on, you're talking about the 3rd greatest point guard of all time, if not 2nd, the 2nd greatest power forward of all time. Like, this guy was going against monsters. This guy was going against some great players, great coaches, great teams, and none of them were as bad as that 2011 Mavericks team. So you want to talk about guys that were at the end of their career. So, Jordan never played bad in the playoffs in any series. You can look it up.
Let's go, Jeff.
He was going against Magic in his prime still. Magic just was forced to retire because of the HIV virus. And he faced like 22 50-win teams, 60-win teams in the finals almost every year. LeBron's faced like 12 50-win teams. Even Kobe's faced even more, 25 50-win teams in the playoffs. So I think this notion about competition is a little ridiculous because Jordan clearly faced more competition.
Yeah, Jesse, I love your passion. I love your passion. And you really did prove me wrong on a lot of points. But let me ask you something. What year did Magic retire? Was that the season right after he lost in the finals?
Yeah, what happened was they went to the finals, which no one expected them to. They beat the Blazers, who were the best team in the NBA in 91. Magic took them to his 9th finals, and then the Bulls just were too much. Would have swept them probably if Jordan didn't hit the game winner, Game 1, which rimmed out. And then Magic found out about the HIV virus, and he was forced to retire.
So what?
And then he came back in the All-Star game that year in 92. That was really it.
So what makes you think that Magic got that HIV virus like right before he announced it? He was definitely dealing with HIV, in my opinion, during that series. Second of all, what was it? 11, 12, 13 years in the league by then for Magic? And then ending it off with HIV, I think that had a lot to do with why they lost, to be honest. They just ran out of gas by the time they had to face Michael Jordan and his freshly young Bulls in the finals. Now, you guys love to bring up that 2011 finals, huh?
Because you said that team was not inferior to the Heat.
I told you, Michael would have swept.
I didn't say on paper that they weren't they were better than the Heat. On paper, the Heat should have destroyed them. But those were some great players that they were facing. Yeah, maybe towards the end of their career.
Who's a Hall of Famer?
But you can make that same argument.
But
towards the end of their career, kind of like Magic Johnson, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like if Michael Jordan retires one year and his team only loses two more games than they lost the year before, he's got a pretty dang good team there, buddy.
Okay, yeah, but all right, let me throw that on LeBron then.
What happened when LeBron left Cleveland? Please answer me that. What happened when LeBron left Cleveland? What happened?
I got you.
What happened? Just tell the people, tell the world, what happened? They went from 60 wins to #1 pick. Michael Jordan's team went from 57 wins to 55 wins.
But they didn't win the championship without Jordan.
They also didn't pick in the lottery the next year.
See,
So wait, I got a good point about that. I got a good point.
Okay, I want to hear.
So one, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Cleveland team the decision was a great team,
Yeah.
amazing team. Obviously, that wasn't as good as
Yeah.
what he had in Miami, Cleveland now, or Jordan back in the '90s. But look at that '95 Bulls team, right? So one, they had just won 3 straight championships. They had all the pieces still together, and they even gained Tony Kukoc, which Jordan didn't play with before the first three-peat.
Yep.
And they still had B.J. Armstrong, who was an All-Star that year. Horace Grant became an All-Star that year. Still had Phil Jackson. They won 2 less games, right? But then they lost in the second round to the Knicks. Fast forward the next year when I think Horace Grant left, and they were about to miss the playoffs. You can look it up before Jordan came back from baseball. And Jordan came back from baseball, carried them to the playoffs, beat Shaw in the first round, and they lost to Shaq and Penny. Now look at a better example would be the Heat last year, right? Because the Heat the first year after LeBron left, they missed the playoffs, but Bosh and Wade missed most of the season.
Yeah.
With Bosh even missing most of last year and Wade being healthy all of last year, they were in the second round of the playoffs. So you look at the 95 Bulls, 94 Bulls, look at the 2016 Heat. It's the same thing. They went to the playoffs. And you want to talk about wins or whatever, LeBron's teams, the 2011 Cleveland Cavaliers, decimated with injuries. They lost Shaq. They lost Antoine Jameson.
Yeah.
All their players went down. They lost Mo Williams. It wasn't obviously a great cast, but if you look at the beginning of the year, I remember that they started off like I think 10-5, and then they got depleted by injuries. And then at that point, they're tanking.
Okay.
They're going for the number 1 pick. Whereas you look at Jordan and look at LeBron these past couple of years. What did they produce since 2014? 2014 Heat only won 50 games. The Cavs this past year only won like 50-something games. The Cavs this year barely won 50 games. So this regular season dominance that LeBron had back in his early times of his career is not even here anymore. Jordan in '98, with Pippen missing most of the season because of his back injury, he still led the Bulls to 62 wins. Led the Bulls to 69 wins in '97, 72 wins in '96. You look at the '88 season where the next closest guy on Jordan's team was scoring 12 points a night, and Jordan led those Bulls to like 54 wins, which is more than Cleveland this year. So, I mean, it's the regular season at the end of the day, and, that is a good point. You could say that, hey, LeBron left, they were a lottery team, this, that, and third, but at the end of the day, when we're talking about what matters, and I hate this whole rings argument. Look up Jordan's stats, and if you know basketball, you know the advanced stats, because LeBron says it himself, he looks into them, PER, win shares, all that stuff. Jordan's stats beat him.
Keep
Look
talking.
at the finals,
Yep.
you look at the playoffs, you look at the regular
does.
season, and Jordan has more MVPs.
Now-
So I hate this idea that people are saying that, Jordan's only better because of the rings.
Now-
No, Jordan's better because he played bigger
Okay.
in the playoffs, in the finals, and he has more MVPs, and he has better stats. Look
Okay,
it up.
Jesse. Okay, I appreciate your passion, man. I really do, because it makes for great radio. But what I'm gonna say, and just before I let you go here, you make some very valid points for Michael Jordan. You make some very, very, very strong points for Michael Jordan. You barely even used the 6 rings. Barely. I like that. That shows a lot of passion, and it shows that you did your homework. Now, let me just talk hypotheticals real quick. LeBron has lost 4. He's 3 for 7 right now, right? Let's say he gets to the next 4. He wins the next 4. That puts him, and let's not even go that far. Let's put him 5 out of 10. He goes 3 for the next 4, 2 for the next 4, whatever. 5 out of 10,
50%.
literally half of his career will have been spent taking his team to the finals. That's why I'm saying,
Not just
you
him.
gotta understand that one big key factor in this argument, and what I think is gonna take LeBron over the top by the time he retires. Right now, Jordan got that. It's a wrap right now. But let's say LeBron gets to where the expectations are, at least 5 of 10, I would say. That's being modest, because he could get to 6 of 10, 6 of 11, 5 of 11, The dude is definitely going to be going to more finals. Don't just think it's going to be this year. But basically, I think that taking your team there that many times and winning as many times as he did, he still gets that ring clout. You know what I mean? I think it takes him over the top because he just held it for so much longer. That 4 years that Michael Jordan doesn't have on LeBron, that LeBron actually has on MJ. He came in from high school when MJ went to North Carolina for 3 years. Those 3 seasons, and MJ was hurt one of his first 3 seasons.
And he
hurt his
took off to
ankle.
go play baseball.
Exactly. But hey, I got my conspiracy theories about that one too. But honestly, I think by the time LeBron retires, let's put it to you like this: 5 rings, all-time leading scorer, top 10 in assists and rebounds. Is he the greatest of all time?
I mean, we have to wait till then. I mean, that's the thing. That's why I keep trying to tell everyone. Like, we got to let LeBron be great. That's the same thing dudes were telling me last year. Like, I had my friend when Steph was going crazy and hitting all those shots. They was like, yo, Steph wins 6 rings, he's the GOAT. It's like we're so prisoner of the moment. Like, let's let these guys be great. We can't predict the future. And basketball, things change. I keep trying to tell everyone this. Look at the Lakers of the early 2000s. They won the first 3 championships. They smoke everyone in the finals. Everyone probably thought they were going to win like 8 rings. They fall apart. Look at the Lakers of the next run. Sorry, 2009, 2010. Everyone probably thought they were going to win 2011, and they fell apart. Father Time catches all, and LeBron has a lot of minutes on his body. Eventually, I know he's a tank, and I know he's like superhuman, but eventually that's going to catch up, and I really don't see him winning that many more championships, especially with that Golden State team in the West. And who knows, the East won't be this bad forever. Eventually, someone's going to turn it around. But let's just give into your hypothetical that he wins 5 rings. I can't give him better than Jordan with 5 rings. It's just like,
even if he's gone to
world does this make sense?
4,
We're talking about a ring
5
argument, right? Let's say football, right? Tom Brady, Joe Montana, or whatever. You know, when he won 4, I believed he was better than Joe Montana.
So
But most people needed him to win that 5th one for him to get the GOAT. Like, in what world do you have less? And people said the same thing about Kobe. They were like, oh, Kobe wins 5, he's better than Jordan. And I'm like, how does that make him better? For me personally, for him to be in the conversation, he has to win as many as Jordan. And at the end of the day, in my mind, then I could, bring up the hypothetical, what if Jordan never retired? Then he probably wins 8 rings, 9 rings. He probably could have won in 99 if he didn't retire. But Jordan was just so good, and he had, I don't know, other things going on in his life, you could say that's his fault. Just look at his prime. Look at that run from 87 to 93. How great he played, what help he had, how dominant he was in those finals. The 93 finals, that was like 41 a game. It was ridiculous. And this guy was a monster. And, I just, in my mind, I've never seen someone play better basketball in the finals, regular season, and playoffs than Jordan. Even putting the rings aside, and he has the 6 for 6 finals MVPs. I don't like to put the whole loss thing on LeBron. The way I view it is, I hate both sides of this argument. The argument that, LeBron is terrible because he's lost 4, or that LeBron is great because he's gotten to 7. It doesn't matter. If you don't get there and you don't win, it doesn't matter. To me, Magic went to 9 and won 5. Does that make him better than Jordan? No. Kobe went to 7 and won 5. Does that make him better than Jordan? No. Jerry West went to like 10. Can we stop with this whole finals appearances argument? It doesn't really matter.
Okay, Jesse.
And look, I personally don't think LeBron will get it, but he has to, in my book, win 6 to be in the conversation with Jordan. And I think most people probably still won't. A lot of the younger generation, because we grew up watching LeBron, will probably give it to him. The old heads and people who grew up obviously on Jordan would never give it to him. But for him to definitively probably be better than Jordan, he probably has to win 7. I mean, it's just, how can you fault Michael for going 6 for 6 in 8 years, all those MVPs, what he did, making the NBA what it is. He's the biggest athlete of all time.
All right, Jesse. Now, before I let you go, you fell into the spider's web with that one, because I actually am an avid Brady fan, and I love to make the Brady and LeBron comparison. My boy Camacho here thinks that you should compare LeBron to
Peyton Manning. He has all the regular season.
Okay, hold on. Now, I say compare Bron to Brady. He compares Brady to Michael Jordan. I compare Bron to Brady because, think about it. When Brady had 3, he lost 2 to you-know-who. I don't even want to say it. I'm cringing. I don't want to say it.
And why?
I don't want to say it. Stop it.
Big Blue.
PTSD. I'm telling you. I prayed for every game that year. The one game I didn't pray for was the Super Bowl. I was like, we got this in the bag. We about to score. Freaking. I was so. Anyways. So Brady loses 2. Everybody thinks he's number 2 to who else but perfect Joe Montana. This is why the conversation is so similar. Perfect Joe Montana. Perfect Michael Jordan. Not so perfect LeBron. Not so perfect Brady. Now give LeBron a few more years. Magic Johnson, you said 5 of 9, but is Magic Johnson on pace to be the leading scorer in the NBA? No. Is Magic Johnson on pace to be the leading scorer in the playoffs? No. And I understand LeBron had 4 more years. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. But I don't think you can fault somebody for playing more minutes than someone else in any way, shape, or form. Should you fault somebody for busting his butt on that court? He's done it more consistently. He's taken no days off. He's never been injured for a long period of time. He's got the clutch moments. He's got 3 rings. I think he can get 2 or 4. If he gets to 5, goes to 4 more, that puts him at 11. 5 for 11. I'm sorry, but someone that goes to 11 in the 2000s, something we haven't seen since the 60s, greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. But that's talking hypotheticals. But Jesse, thank you so much for the call, man. That was literally the most passionate call that we have gotten since we started this. And you honestly kicked my butt.
You should see George right now sweating.
I am sweating. If you go on YouTube Live, you can see George sweating up a storm in here because guys like Jesse got to come in here and just own me real quick on my own show. Well, all right, Jesse, you have yourself a great night. You can call in whenever you want, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Anytime.
When anybody wants to give George a water, a rag, because Jesse was spitting out some facts.
All right.
We had all day.
Before we do anything, Camacho, can you let us know who our presenters are and what we're doing here tonight?
Me and the guys, we're presented by WNRC Radio. We appreciate the opportunity to be up here, and we're just out here having fun,
Absolutely.
making George sweat a little.
Absolutely. Making me sweat a little, making me do my job up here. Also, shout out to New Era Radio for presenting us as well. Shout out to Sir Jam. We appreciate you, man, for the opportunity. We're having a lot of fun. And we're going to move on to our next segment. It was going to be a little cut short, but it's okay. I'm going on to John's 1-minute segment right after this PCA on bullying.
George Gamble.
Yo, I lost everything, bro. I don't have anything.
What do you think?
We're trying to get it to here, out here.
Yeah, so like
The only thing I didn't learn in school today.
Yeah.
see now how do you do that with the callers? So like when you guys are talking to them, I can hear it for YouTube because I have to put the headphones. You know what I mean?
It just doesn't go on for some reason.
Today in
We'll
school,
let it
I
play one
learned
more
a
time.
lot.
We'll hop right back
In
in.
chemistry,
So that's why I brought the headphones here. So every time somebody calls, I got the headphones here. So if they're on YouTube Live, they'll be able to hear them.
I could say it though. I could say the.
And to Jim,
Yo.
I learned that I'm pathetic.
What are we talking
And to
about? We're
Jill,
talking about that KD thing, your 1-minute thing.
The
I'm going to give you 60 seconds.
That's
Listen,
why no one ever
when we
helps.
go back on, W1 do the presentation. WNRC and New Era Radio.
Somebody's actually still on here, like faithfully.
So what is it? WNRC radio station. WNRC Radio. WNRC Nichols College Radio and New Era Radio. Be like, this is John the Voice. We're here presenting you INNFO8 Sports presented by WNRC. You know what I mean? I'm gonna turn our mic back on. So go ahead, John.
Alright, we're back at WNRC radio station in Nichols College with your boy John the Voice. We're here to talk about sports. We're talking about NBA, the latest news on the NFL. And we're going to talk right now about KD, talking about top prospects not going to the NBA Combine. What are your thoughts on that, Camacho?
I mean, the combine itself, you're judging someone off of just things that are off. I mean, yeah, verticals and stuff like that, but you can't really determine a player until you actually see him play in that situation. A big thing with Kawhi Leonard, I read an article that his scouting report, you know what it said? That he can't defend. He doesn't have the ability and lacks the ability to lock down superstar players. And look at that scouting report. Even Steph Curry's scouting report shoots too much, relies too much on his pull-up game. The Isaiah Thomas scouting report is too small, would never do something in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at these
A
players.
lot of those scouting reports are just criticized. Like for instance, Kevin Durant was criticized for not being able to lift 185 at the combine. The guy is what
110 pounds.
110 pounds or something.
82 feet tall.
82 feet tall. He said, "Give me a ball, and I'll show you." Because you're not lifting 185
This
pounds.
ain't football.
The basketball is not 185 pounds or anything. You know, KD, I think the combine is overrated,
Yes.
to be honest.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
In the
definitely.
NBA, it is. But and I understand the NFL. You do have to go through different types, but
I just think they should let them play 5-on-5 and just duke it out. See who's the best in game.
That's
Yeah,
what
should be
that's
the
that should be
combine.
the report.
that's what Skip Bayless talked about in ESPN. He said that they should have veterans 3-on-3, 2-on-2 to see the ability, because
Yeah.
that's really how you show how a player works. Look at the videotapes. Look at the clips. You know how they perform in games.
Very smart.
And to talk about the combine that George mentioned about the NFL, I'm sorry to go away from the NBA, but a superstar himself, Deion Sanders, he didn't have the ability to bench press. But you know what he said? I'm not bench pressing on the field. He only ran the 40 to shut people down,
Yeah.
and to keep them quiet, because they didn't think he ran as fast as he did. But the man ran a 4 or 5 backwards now.
But why do they make offensive lines, O-lines, run the 40-yard dash?
Exactly. That's a pointless stat.
Why do they have to scout that?
Crazy
on
how
a-
those big boys be moving.
Yeah,
though,
but
huh?
they
They
do
do
move.
move.
But is it really necessary?
I mean,
stat for them?
to see if a guy's gonna play tackle and guard, I mean that's where I can see that 40
Understandable.
coming in. But you have a great point. Big men should only honestly
Pushing weight.
be viewed as how much weight they can push, and I feel like they should also do a thing called the board drill
Yeah.
in combines. You
Move
know,
their feet.
give two linemen helmets and shoulder pads and see who can push each other back. That's a great way to scout. Not
That is great.
not testing your
Oh, yeah.
left tackle to jump a 30-inch vertical. What does he need to jump to? He's not even eligible.
I agree. I agree very much. That was a good segment, man.
Yeah, John's amazing. Actually.
NBA Combine, that's actually a really good segment because not a lot of people talk about that stuff, man. NFL Combine, I can understand. You got to get all these boys together. You got to make sure, but
They actually pay tickets to see the
Exactly.
NFL combine. So
Exactly.
it is important in the NFL.
And at the same time, if the NBA did something like what 2K be doing, those little showcases that they do on that video game,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If they can make money off of that, do it right at Madison Square Garden,
The
the
top-
Mecca.
The top, and it doesn't even have to be the top athletes. You can honestly just throw in pick out of a hat a group of names
Prospects.
and have multiple games. Have all the prospects. How many games do you think that would
A mini tournament.
You know what I'm
coming into the
saying?
league.
Yeah, like, oh, that's amazing.
I think drafts will be much intense if that would be like that.
Because you get to
Because
play.
you get to see everybody. You get to see how they perform. And then I think the draft changes.
Because people
Completely.
look good. People could look amazing
Mhm.
when it comes to combine numbers. You know who's a big fool for those? A team like the Oakland Raiders, who would draft someone who ran a 4.2 but can't catch a ball.
They just drafted my boy Obi. Watch out.
All
Watch
right,
out.
I know, but Obi had some freakish numbers
Yes, he
in his
did.
combine, did he not?
Yeah, he did.
Exactly. So they look at combine, but you do need a pregame. You do need those mini camps or those exhibition games that allow the best players or just random regular people who are looking to pursue their dreams and allow them to showcase in live helmets to shoulders, basketball and sneakers.
But listen, John Calipari agreed with KD. And he's one of the toughest college coaches in college. Like, to see that, somebody agree with that, I believe that it should be a change that NBA does, The top prospects shouldn't, I mean, if they want to, they could, but I think it's a great possibility that it'll change.
It
I don't
does. It needs to change.
know.
Yeah, it does. Honestly, they can make some money off of that. I even think that was a great point that you made. If they did like a little tournament or something and
People
just
watch.
maybe put one current NBA player on each team, maybe not to go all out, but to just get them the ball, facilitate, kind of run
I
things.
mean, aren't they doing
The summer leagues?
what's it called? The people that retire, the
Oh,
3-on-3?
yeah.
They do that.
Ice Cube's league?
Ice
The
Cube's League?
Big 3 league, I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
called.
Big 3 League.
That's so awesome. That
It
should
is.
be on TV.
It is.
That should be on TV.
There's a lot of players, too.
Ice Cube's a smart man.
Really smart.
Yes.
That boy's smart. That man's smart. If he heard me calling him a boy, I might get beat up.
That
They'll
man.
come right into this office,
Yeah.
give you that ice, that
Boy,
look.
That look like.
I hope you hear this, Ice. I was watching Straight Outta Compton last night with the wife. And that rhyme. What's up?
Bars, sign him. Sign him.
All right, man. So we're gonna go on to our next little bit of this last segment real quick. It was our in-depth analysis segment. You know, we go on and on about Jordan and LeBron. We can do that all day. You know, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. I wanted to talk real quick about Steve Kerr. What do you guys think, man? Do you guys think that the Warriors are okay without him? Do you think that it don't matter who's coaching that team? Because personally, I think the only thing they needed to make them feel secure about winning a championship was KD. Now, they feel like they can win with anybody up there. Dude, LeBron James' old coach, Mike Brown, is coaching them right now. The guy who couldn't get LeBron a W in the finals. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't just fall on the player. It's every single player, every single person on that team.
I think it really has to do with the chemistry they have. All those people got drafted at the same time. KD was the only person they brought in, and Andre Iguodala, but they brought a chemistry. These people collide together. The Splash Brothers, Draymond Green. It's more chemistry than because I think they could play without a coach, to be honest. Because Bill Walton came out of they don't be surprised if Mike Brown doesn't get a contract next year, or they look for him to coach have a head coach position somewhere else.
Just being around that greatness, man, you're gonna get something.
But the thing about Steve Kerr, it's more than him a coach. I feel like he is the only one who can handle these four superstars.
Those personalities.
If you think about it, who on that team is going to be able to tell Draymond Green something?
But
Who on that
they're
team-
winning on team.
Who on that team is gonna tell Steve Kerr something? Let's be real.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude hit a game winner in the game 6 of the finals one time.
The
With
guy-
Michael Jordan.
The guy played with greatness.
Yeah.
The guy had the ability to touch the ball after Michael Jordan.
A lot of people
Those
covered
players,
that.
I feel like those players respect it because game recognized
He
game.
knows greatness.
He knows how to win, and having personalities. I'm gonna keep talking on Draymond Green because I honestly don't feel anybody on that team can control him. If he was to lose his mind, I feel like the only person he would listen to would be his coach.
I feel you. I feel you.
He gets a lot of technical.
And he's always had great coaches because you can't go 73-9 without having a great coach. Let's just be honest. Somebody that can just control the tempo in a way. And he had Tom Izzo in college at Michigan State. Great coaches all around. So he's been very fortunate to have some great coaches. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He damn near averages a triple-double as well.
Good.
You know? He's not a bad player. He's not worth what they're
What they're paying him.
Come on now. A max contract. You're going to give him a max contract before Steph Curry. He just won 2 MVPs. They're talking about Steph Curry leaving
And they're both free agents, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry next season.
Yep.
Steph's not even the best player on that team, though. I'm sorry.
He isn't. I don't think so.
I'm
either.
sorry. Klay
He's
Thompson
got-
is the best player on that team.
He's got more MVPs than any player on that team.
It's cool because someone does need a
Steph
poster
Curry.
boy.
Stephen Curry doesn't guard the
The
best
best player.
players.
Who does?
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
That's why he should be considered the
He's 6'1",
best player
man.
in
I
that.
know he's listed at 6'3".
He's 6'3". Don't.
Steph Curry, they list him at
6'3",
6. They listed Paul Pierce at 6'8". Dude was 6'6", 6'7". They only list players at their real height, like KG, who was really like 7 feet, and he wanted to be a little
JJ
shorter
Barea.
on the sideline.
JJ.
JJ 6 feet.
JJ,
But
Brandon Jennings.
Brandon
They
Jennings.
used to say he was 6 feet. Dude's like 5'8". Come on now.
they need a poster boy, and he fits. If look at it, he fits the perfect. I want to say the perfect image. Look at his family. How well oriented
Klay
his
Thompson
family.
could be a
True.
superstar in the team.
I
Klay
think so.
Thompson is a superstar
He's a
on this
superstar.
team.
I wouldn't mind him on the Celtics.
Oh no, me neither.
He is
A great fit for any team.
Yeah. He is a superstar. He is.
Klay Thompson is a superstar on that team. He's just really overlooked because you have 4 other superstars.
All right. So one last topic here in our in-depth analysis. I just wanted to touch on it before our segment ends here in a couple minutes. But I just wanted a little mini debate. Who's the best defensive player of all time, NFL? I'll go first.
Don't take
NFL?
my answer. He's gonna
I'll
take.
go
He's
first.
gonna take the.
I already know who you're gonna pick.
Tell me.
I already know who you're gonna pick. You're gonna go with
Troy.
prime time.
Prime time.
Go ahead. Tell the people why.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Jerry Rice ran, I think, a 4.5 or 4.6 in his 40.
Jerry Rice ran a 4.7.
A 4 exact. Deion Sanders ran a 4.5 backwards. What don't people understand? That means he never had to come on his back pedal.
He greater than Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis has not one, but 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
It happens. He was the only I mean, no. Let me take that
Not
back
only that,
because
he's a great defensive player. One of the how many times did he
What?
one defensive player?
Let's be honest. God bless Aaron Hernandez's soul. Not every guy gets off of trouble that serious. Ray Lewis was fortunate to get off of that, and had Ed Reed, pop up in the draft. He ended up being a star for that team.
And Ndamukong Suh.
Every time he touched that, what you mean Ndamukong Suh?
I mean, no, I'm sorry.
Hello.
They look the same. They play the same.
Yeah, they're on the same team.
T Sizzle.
No, I think Haloti is actually on the team that drafted Ndamukong. He's on the
The
Lions.
Lions. That's why I got them mixed up. They,
Yeah.
they got the same body frame. But
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you this now: if Golinata wasn't drafted to the Ravens, I guarantee you they wouldn't have won those rings. You know why they drafted him?
Well, Haloti got drafted after the first round.
Okay, but you know why they drafted him?
Big man.
Because that man in the middle, Ray Lewis, said, "I'm tired of getting touched by linemen. Give me someone who
Give
can
him space."
plug up
Yeah.
and take 2 blocks on."
Mhm.
But to answer that question, I'm gonna give it to Primetime.
Okay.
If ever Primetime catches a pick, he's dangerous. He is dangerous. I believe he has the most pick sixes? If it's not Ed Reed.
You want to know who I think the greatest defensive player of all time is? You guys, I don't know if John would even know who this guy is.
Let me take a guess. What team was he on?
He played for Philly and Green Bay. He was a defensive lineman.
Defensive lineman.
Oh, Reggie White.
Reggie White, baby.
Reggie White's a
I
beast.
was watching his 30 for 30 last night. Reggie White, man, they had a D tackle when he was in his career at Philly. They drafted Jerome Brown, and Jerome Brown and him hit it off. They were 2 great D tackles. That defense was looking great. And the year that they thought that the Eagles were finally going to win it, Jerome Brown ended up passing away. And
Adversity.
Reggie White, he was a very spiritual man. He was a preacher. He was a very, very man of God-ish. Like, you guys know how we grew up. We're Hispanic,
Yeah.
so our family's church all day. You know what I mean?
Michael Strahan.
You think Michael Strahan?
Michael Strahan was.
You guys are.
Doesn't he leads the NFL in sacks?
No. Bruce Smith does.
Bruce Smith does. All right.
The Bills.
He's up there though.
A lot of people wouldn't even know who Bruce Smith
He
is.
went 0 for 4 in the Super Bowl. That's why they don't know who he is.
I hope my brother-in-law's not listening.
I heard.
I hope so
that one would hurt his heart.
He's a Bills fan, but
Yeah.
you guys are also forgetting about that dude from the Giants who's pretty scary. I don't know if you guys remember his
LT,
name.
baby, I had 2 plaques from his last game on my wall growing up. Lawrence Taylor. I almost said LaDainian Thomas.
Daniel Thomas, but that's also a great
He
player.
is a
Jason Taylor also a great player.
Jason Taylor
For the
was a great
Dolphins?
player.
Dolphins.
He was like 7 foot.
7 foot.
7
He
foot.
was.
D-line.
It was. Now, just to bring it back a little bit, we are presented to you by WNRC, Nichols College, and New Era Radio. These are, actually hosting this is George Rivera. They call me the truth because I speak nothing but the truth. I'm here with my colleagues, Brian Macho Camacho and John The Voice Mercado. And also, we got on the camera my main man, Daniel Rodriguez, straight killing it on the live feed on YouTube for us. Go ahead and go on YouTube if you want to see us live right now. It is INNFO8 INNFO and the number 8 Debates. All you have to do is type that in. You'll be able to see us live right now. Come on, chat with us. Give us a call at 508-943-8320 before we end in about 45 minutes. Again, shout out to Sir Jam, man. We love what we do. We love what we do, and we're just getting better every day. That's the goal. That's the goal. So we're working a little bit harder on this show, trying to get it real crispy for the fans, you know? We know we have some support around here. We're from the area, and we just want to put on a good show for the very first sports talk radio show in the 508. I think we're doing pretty good. So, on to this next segment that I wanted to talk about today, and it's going to include the NBA, the NFL. You can include the MLB because it has to do with money. It has to do with athletes and their money. So, before, back in like the 90s and early 2000s, athletes were going broke left and right. And I feel like leagues are taking initiative nowadays to, avoid that. They don't want their guys going broke so quick, you know what I mean? But, I feel like in ways that they're trying to improve is, you get a financial advisor as soon as you get drafted now. You know what I mean? I think that's really good to do, and that actually makes these bigger leagues look really good because they're showing initiative and actually caring about their players and what they do with their money. You know, there's players out there that'll tell you stories like Antoine Walker, like man, just a lot of players honestly have just gone from the richest of the richest to the poorest of the poorest, looking like me and you out here. But I just wanted to get my colleagues' point of view on this, and before we even start on this, I just wanted to go ahead and do one more PCA. So we'll be right back with INNFO8 Debates.
What was that station?
I'm so afraid to see if this pauses.
What up? I'm looking it up right now.
And you get the right direction.
Arriving at destination.
And you set up camp right next to a creek.
Mike's a shut off. Yo,
And it
John,
all goes perfect.
can you text me that?
Huh?
Did you text me that? Did you
But
text
even
me
if it
that?
doesn't go that way, and
The
your
what?
gear ends up
The
on the
thing,
Nah,
ground,
bro. I told you to take it.
and you get completely lost,
Where are
Can you
I got it right now.
text it to me?
and your campground is near a beehive,
I'm gonna let this play a few times.
it could still be the perfect camping trip.
So come on over
Kids
here.
don't always see things the way
This
they
is
do.
INNFO8 Debates behind the scenes, baby. It's only our third show, first time on YouTube Live. Say what's up to my boys, Brian Camacho, Macho
Trying to make it.
Camacho,
Trying to make it,
John the Voice, baby,
Hey,
John the Voice.
what's going on, guys?
We got big time goals here. We're trying to make it.
Department of Health and
Plain and
Human
simple.
Services.
Trying to do what we love. Maybe one day make some money doing this stuff. So, did you text me that, John?
I'm gonna go right at it right now.
How's that sound, guys?
That sounds perfect.
That sounds dope. I wrote something to this. I'll spit it to you guys. I'm turning this back on. Yo, you. Make sure you say WNRC, Nichols College Radio, and New Era Radio. And then say the YouTube feed, say the phone number, and you're good.
How's it going, guys? We're coming back to you again, presented by New Era Radio and WNRC. We just want to hear some couple things about the topic coming up, about why athletes go broke. And, you know, it's going to be a big, fun debate, and it's a problem that's happening with these young athletes who are coming in with low incomes to struggling homes and then getting $1 million. We want to hear what people got to say. So call us in at 508-943-8320. I want to hear what you guys got to say.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's exactly how we like to do things around here, nice and crispy. So, just like my partner, Macho Camacho, had to say to you guys, give us a call here at 508-943-8320. We're having a lot of fun tonight, debating anything we can while we can. You know, we just love doing this stuff. But on to this topic, athletes and their money. You know, second to last topic of the day. We got an article pulled up here that my boy John found earlier today, and it actually shed a lot of light on the athletes and their money deal. So, I mean, things happen in life, you know. So we make bad decisions. Like, it's just hard to give a young man or a young woman that type of money and not see it blow up in their face, you know. It's really tough, especially you can even bring this up with a guy like Aaron Hernandez or someone like Ray Lewis, who almost ruined their career by doing something so stupid, or in Aaron Hernandez's case, did ruin his career by doing something stupid. So, you know, these guys get this money and they feel on top of the world. They got that adrenaline rush. It's better than any drug they could have ever gotten. Imagine right now, someone is listening to our show from ESPN. They just cleaned house. They just laid off over 100 people. They're calling us, John, Camacho, George, to come have our own show. They're gonna. We see the numbers on that check, and there's more commas than we've ever seen in our lives.
Dream country?
Now, if we're thinking about it as 19, 20-year-olds coming into this business, our heads get blown up. We're the next big thing. You know what I mean? You start getting that vibe in a way. So, I feel like the NFL and the NBA, to be exact on what I'm talking about, those two leagues, for instance, have done a great job of trying to do better in that aspect. You know, set their players up for success rather than failure. Now, you have a whole bunch of different situations as well. Nowadays, you have players investing in their hometowns, players investing into food, players investing into positive things. Back in the day, there was a lot of gambling. There was a lot of just nonsense. You know, so what's you guys' take on that? How do you feel the leagues have changed? How do you feel things are going? You know what I mean? Is it a positive direction we're going in? Is it a neutral, negative direction? Let me know what you guys think. And anybody that wants to call, 508-943-8320. And make sure you look up INNFO, the number 8 as well, at the end there. Debates, INNFO8 Debates on YouTube. We are live right now from our INNFO8 Debates sports channel. So go ahead. Who wants to go first? Who wants to give me their...
I got you.
Okay.
I just feel like the leagues are definitely going into positive and more, I want to say, more of a, okay, let's not spend all your money now, and let's look into how you can maximize your money and even make your money work for you. But this is how I look at the entire situation. You give a kid who is, I want to say, most of the time coming from poverty, hard life, low income, you give him this big amount of money. You know, if you give me $1 million, I'm gonna tell you things. I'm gonna give my mother a house. I'm gonna give my aunt a house. I'm gonna do all of this thing, and that's the mentality that most of these kids had. They had nothing.
Absolutely.
They grew up with nothing, watching their mom struggle, 1 to 2 jobs, not coming home, and now that they got money, they can repay their home and their mother and fathers, just because they never grew up with the things that they had. So now that they got it, they want to give back. But some of them do invest in wrong things, gamble, and lose the money. I believe Eddie House, or was Eddie House on the Miami Heat?
Yeah, he was on the Miami Heat. He went from...
I'm pretty sure he went broke because he couldn't pay a cable bill. Can someone explain how you don't pay a cable bill when you're making millions of dollars?
Imagine what his cable bill looked like.
That's the thing. Athletes gotta understand. Yeah, you're getting all this money.
But life don't stop.
Look at Kawhi Leonard. He still drives a 19, probably Jesus rode in it. You know, he got the Flintstone car, but it's paid off. Just because you're making hundreds of millions of dollars doesn't mean you gotta live that hundreds of millions of dollar lifestyle. That's the fastest way to go broke. Trying to keep up with the Joneses and impress everyone who doesn't really care, because when you go broke, they're not gonna help you.
Amen.
They had a section on Trent Richardson from the Browns. He went to the Colts a couple of years ago, and now he's a free agent. He had an account that had over 200 Amazons, and he didn't know anything about that.
What do you mean?
He said, well, he was spending money on cables that he didn't know about, because it was all his friends, his family. He gave money away, and he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to help people out. He wanted, but it took it to an extreme where he went bankrupt.
He MC hammered himself.
He MC hammered himself, and that does a lot to your career. Trent Richardson now, he's not a starter in the NFL. Most people looked at him as being as a bust. Yes, and a lot of people go through that. You know, a lot of NFL players, they want to help their families, they want to help their friends, you want to buy their cars and stuff. Well, Trent Richardson did that, and look where it got him. A lot of NFL players, NBA players, mostly NFL players, it's because after they retire, they have so much problems
With their body?
With their body. They have so much problems with their mind that they need to pay doctors. They need to pay painkillers. They have all this other things they have to go because of their career they had,
Yeah.
because of injuries they had in their career.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and I agree with you. I agree with you there. It's kind of sad because from making all that money, they end up in a tax bracket that doesn't really, qualify for Obamacare. So, he's got to pay out of pocket for all that stuff.
Listen to this. In 2012 alone, NFL teams prescribed an average of 5,777 doses of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and 2,270 doses of controlled substances to the players.
So that's 5,000 plus pills for every NFL team.
Every NFL team.
So that's 32 NFL teams at 5,000 pills. How much money are the pharmaceuticals making off of this? They must be making bank.
That's why NFL players, most of them are bankrupt because they pay so much. And the thing is that they put a law into the NFL where doctors need to, because back then they didn't talk about, they gave the players the medication and they didn't tell them what the consequences is.
So what you're telling me is that they said, here, take this, and it makes the pain go away without explaining any side effects.
Any side effects. That's where one of the players on Atlanta Hawks had, I think his last name was Mac. He went through something like that, and I forgot what.
So the NFL should be responsible. If you're gonna, what the article and you are telling me is, they're just telling players, okay, listen, you got this type of injury, take this drug, it's gonna magically make you feel good. But when you retire from here, it's gonna hurt you more than it actually helped you. And now they're putting their retired players into a predicament now. Okay, I have all this money in the bank, but now I gotta pay my doctor for my leg injury. I gotta pay my other doctor for my head. I gotta pay my other doctor for my shoulder, and all these medications keep going, building and building and building, and that's that taking too many pills can honestly kill a person.
The thing is that those medications they've taken, some of them are addictions, where they make the person crazy, where they make the person have pain that they really don't want with their life. Some think they're still in the game.
Yep.
And it's incredible how this situation has gotten players to be bankrupt.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's a thing that a lot of people don't discuss because it should be more discussed more.
It should be brought to the light.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy how beautifully this came into conjunction with our last segment, because we were actually going to talk about substance abuse policies in both the NBA and the NFL, and it's just crazy how you brought that up, and it just fell perfectly with what we were talking about. You know what I mean? And what we plan to talk about. So I want to just give a shout out to our presenters one last time. WNRC and Nichols College and New Era Radio presenting to you INNFO8 Debates with Georgie the Truth Rivera, Macho Camacho, and John the Voice Mercado, giving you the best sports talk radio show the 508 has ever seen. And we're also on YouTube Live right now on the INNFO8 Debates live stream. All you have to do is type in INNFO and the number 8 and debates right after that, and you can see us live for the next half hour until we end off at 12 a.m. midnight. Sorry. Now, to get right into our last segment of the day, which is the debate of the day, we were just talking about how players have gone bankrupt before, and it's crazy because they get this big lump sum of money and end up going bankrupt for either bad decisions or maybe saving their money and having to deal with insurance stuff by the time they retire. And it's crazy how that fell into place. I believe he wrote it sometime in the early 2000s or late. that in the book in depth. And I thought it was crazy how, you know, the NFL and the NBA, you can get suspended for smoking a joint. You can get suspended for smoking marijuana, which has been proven to eliminate pain from people. You know, some people use it for psychological disorders, anxiety, depression. Some people use it for legitimate pain. Look at Ricky Williams. Perfect example. Ricky Williams from the Miami Dolphins. He got literally Mike Ditka gave up every single draft pick he had in the draft that Ricky Williams was in to pick him up at the number 5 spot. He gave up every single draft pick for this man. This man ended up out of the league because he couldn't stop smoking weed. And the thing is that he didn't want to pick up the Percocet. He didn't want to pick up the Vicodin. And you can't blame a guy for that.
You can't.
You can't. You can't. And the thing is, now we're in 2017, and the outlook on marijuana is a little bit different. But in the NFL, everything's still the same. In the NBA, everything's still the same. Now, we were talking about this on the way here in the car. And I'm going to pass it off to one of my colleagues here. But what we said in the car was that it's got to be this big pharmaceutical company that's cutting the deals with the NFL.
I'm 100% sure that it has to be with the pharmaceuticals. Because, like John said, 32 teams are annually and probably on a week-to-week basis purchasing over 5,000 of these pills that run. I can only imagine how much a container of Vicodin or Percocets or whatever these opiates or things like that cost. And now you times that by 32. This is
They said about six shots per week.
So I want to say that the pharmaceutical part of the industry has definitely impacted the NFL, and somewhere along the line they have to have a contract, because now that medical marijuana is being used, how come the NFL is not allowing its players to smoke? Because smoking has not caused as much damage, or probably never will cause as much damage as Vicodins, Percocets, opiates.
Absolutely.
You've never heard of somebody overdosing on marijuana.
Absolutely.
And I can say that because the game has a huge toll on these players. These players are going 110 miles an hour at each other.
Especially in the NFL.
Especially in the NFL. Think about the guys on special teams who make a living off just running down and running into another man. You don't think that man is getting prescribed all these Vicodins and perks for the pain?
That's the reason why the NFL changed a lot of the rules of hitting. You can't make contact with the helmet to helmet. People used to rock people back then.
Yep.
Now it's way different. Seeing the players' life expansion.
I call that
a lot of people
guilty
don't.
conscience.
Exactly.
I feel like they knew. See. Let's be honest. When we were little kids playing football, we weren't thinking about the injuries. We really weren't. We
love playing.
Not even one bit. We just loved playing the game. We loved that glory feeling. We loved the way girls would look at us, friggin' walking down the hall. You know what I mean? It's just something about sports that brings people together in a way. But even basketball takes a toll on your back, your knees, everything. You know what I mean? So it's not just an isolated thing just because football is a collision sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think it's nuts how they would rather, and not even just in the NFL, in the world, and specifically in the United States, it's like they'd rather give these guys heroin, Percocet, Vicodin. They'd rather give them those than let them smoke on something that's natural from the ground. You know what I mean?
It's
I
all
just
about.
don't understand.
I'm gonna help you understand this. You ready? It's all about the money in industries like this. You got the NFL. What could compete with the NFL? Nothing. What do players need? They need medication. So what does the pharmaceuticals do? They go, hey, listen, I got this amount. You give us this money. We got to sign a contract.
It's a business.
You know, we got to have this agreement that, yeah, everyone else is legalizing weed, but listen, if you legalize weed, these players are gonna get off the medication. They're not gonna need the medication. So how am I gonna make money off your players when they're not using us no more? And things like that come to play. And when it comes to these big organizations, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna call them organizations. I'm gonna call them monopolies that control a whole industry. You think if you were that pharmaceutical guy, now look at it at his view. You got all these players who now even after they retire, still rely on the perks or the opiates or whatever type of drug that they were given to weekly. Here, take this and make the pain go away. But now after you're done playing, you're not running into anybody, not hitting anything, but the pain's still there, and now you're relying on it, and
You
that
get
leads to
addicted.
that leads to an addiction.
You get
And
addicted.
what do addicts do?
Mhm.
They keep going out. They keep going. They keep going. They keep buying
Damage their
it.
body.
And then that's when they start to go broke, because now they, like you said, they got to go pay for all these doctors. They got to go pay for all these rehabs, and it crumbles them.
Mhm.
They'll be at the highest of the podium, and the moment they retire and their bodies shut down, and they need all these other drugs, boom,
They're done.
they're done. Coming out of pocket, because now it's not free no more. You don't play in the NFL, so the NFL's not gonna provide these prescription drugs. Over-the-counter drugs are, I believe, top 3 killers of U.S. people. Top 3, and I think it's obesity. Honestly, I can't, but I know that it's up there. My mind is just boggled, because the NFL should see that these players, they need it. They can't function without these painkillers.
How would they function? How would they change the game to improve that?
It would be a different story if the players didn't want it that way. You know what I mean? If the players wanted to stick with the heroin they're getting fed, by all means, take whatever you want. But I've heard plenty of players advocating for medical marijuana to be approved in the NFL. And specifically linemen that really fight in the trenches and fight every down of their life. Look at Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas from the Cleveland Browns has never missed a snap. That boy is going to the Hall of Fame as soon as he retires. But he's even come out and said he has short-term memory loss already. Like, he knows there's something, you know what I mean? He didn't come out and say, oh, I have CTE, I know I have, but he knows that he's going to have to deal with the effects of football. You know what I mean? Halogi Nada. He had the conversation with his wife this year. I was reading an article on him. He had the conversation with his family. He actually wasn't going to play football until he passed some brain tests. He wanted to test his brain, make sure his brain was okay. His doctors told him he was perfectly fine. So he's playing another year. And until the doctors tell him he should stop, he's going to keep playing.
Wes Welker?
Wes Welker, man, that's just sad. That's just sad, because he had the opportunity to be one of the greats.
And you can't really
And-
stop it either.
Oh,
Because,
They need it.
yeah, I mean, they're playing football, something they love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they want to go out there. They're risking everything.
Yep.
Everything. Because they're risking their life. They're risking their family. They're risking everything. And to play a game that you love and go out there, I really look up to those people, because it's really a hard life, going through so much pain and having to always get medication for your pain and all that.
being on the road,
Being on the road
away from
constantly.
the family.
I got a perfect example. You remember the Carolina Panthers and their road to the Super Bowl? Thomas Davis, he broke his forearm. What type of medication do you think they gave him to make sure he plays with a broken forearm?
Mhm.
You think that little padding is
That's-
actually gonna stop a 300+ man hitting you? Or matter of fact, you even making a tackle, you need to wrap up. You think? I
They
want to
gave him
know.
some shots.
I want to know what they gave him. What type of
Shots.
super Novocaine or whatever that makes him not feel
Look
that?
at Alex Mack last year, the center for the Atlanta Falcons. Broke his
him,
leg. He broke his leg in the NFC Championship game, and he played in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
How?
They gave him
They gave him a nice shot,
anti-inflammatory shot.
Uh-huh.
and now,
But you live with the consequences
do.
afterwards.
yes, you
You
do.
do.
Because that's just for a moment. You won't feel it for that moment that you're playing. But when you're off the field, you're out for the whole season next year.
And
You know what's really crazy is that we do have players like Kyle Turley. Not a lot of people know who Kyle Turley is, but he was an ex-NFL player who actually suffered from those types of brain injuries that you get in the NFL. You know, CTE might be in the future for him. But he had like seven different types of pills that he was using to treat himself. And now the truth of that matter is that those pills weren't actually helping him the way that natural medications would have helped him. So apparently now he smokes medical marijuana, and it actually soothes his illness, and it actually helps his mental states, and it keeps him calm, not lashing out with anger towards his family and friends. So they actually call the illness that he has is pre-CTE. So they can't diagnose CTE before death yet because I guess it's like a buildup of proteins in your brain.
Mhm.
So they have to like take your brain and dissect it after to make sure that you did have CTE. We'll find out in a few weeks or a few months if Aaron Hernandez suffered from that. You know, and that's a big, big story, guys. I mean, CTE alone is a huge story with the NFL because, like I told you before, I played football for 10 years of my life. I did not think about the concussions. But now I do dumb things like going to the grocery store and forgetting what I was supposed to get. Or even quicker than that, like having my daughter in the bath and not remembering to bring her towel. You know what I mean? Stupid stuff like
Just
that.
imagine, you're young. Imagine these people that's been playing for years in the NFL.
I've been playing, and I only did 4 years of college. I only played, I would say, 13 years of my life. Now imagine these dudes that are going 13 years, and then going to the NFL for another 13 to 15
more
years.
I don't think they last 13 years. Most of them.
Not
Like-
a lot of them.
Like, I want to say, like, rest in peace to Junior Seau, but that man went insane.
Mhm.
Wow.
And he was the nicest man from everything I've read about Junior Seau. He'll take the shirt off his back for you.
And what do you think? You think that was because it did have a big part of football itself, but they were giving him too much medications for the injuries. That plays a big toll on your mind, and it just shuts down your body. It forces you to wake up constantly. With the moment you wake up from sleep, out of bed, stretching hurts.
Mhm. Some people can't even get out of there.
Until what they flip that Monday through Friday set of pills.
Set it up pills, yep.
And take about 6 or 7 of them a day
Every day.
before they even get up and brush their teeth.
When literally a few puffs in a bowl would probably really do what they need done.
Honestly, so the NFL is telling me that, let's use Josh Gordon, the superstar wide receiver from the Cleveland Browns.
Sad, man.
So you're gonna tell me that this man is, because he's smoking marijuana, makes him less of a player, less of a person than someone who's consistently popping Percocets
or Vicodin.
or Vicodin? So you tell me that marijuana will take your life before an opiate or a Vicodin would? You're telling me that a
That's
person who's smoking weed is gonna hurt himself than the prescribed pill? Why is he gonna hurt himself? Because it's not prescribed? Or just because the doctor gave it to you makes it better?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I don't understand. And it frustrates me because a superstar like that should not be criticized. He should be allowed. He should be reinstated into the NFL. When you got players in the NFL who beat people, who Adam Jones, Pac-Man Jones, he got into multiple altercations with police, but yet he's still in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that this guy who's probably smoking in his house by himself, not hurting anybody, is less of a person than someone who was caught on footage smacking a waitress in Adam Pac-Man Jones? That's what the NFL's telling me. And I could honestly go on a rant because it doesn't
Ray
make
Rice.
sense. Or Ray. I mean, Ray Rice, I don't think he got reinstated, but
Yes.
but
he got
He's
blackballed.
gone.
but still, you're telling me that these people who are taking prescription drugs makes them better because the doctor said it's gonna make the
Okay.
pain go away.
Not after a while.
It's not okay.
It's not.
It's not okay. You're gonna kill this person,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna just
You're gonna ruin their life.
after football. This guy got a family.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL don't care about that. The pharmaceuticals don't care about that. Because why? When you come into the NFL, the moment you sign your name on that contract is the moment you accept everything. It's like selling your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Everything that comes with the game, you need to take it.
Absolutely.
And the pharmacies and all these big time companies, they will not allow anyone to smoke medical marijuana because it can do and heals just the same as all these pills. But it's not them distributing it. I guarantee you if the pharmaceutical industry was in charge of the medical marijuana usage, that it'll be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
But
No,
no,
they're not.
it's not. It's gonna cost them way too much money.
Somebody's not getting a piece of the pie, and somebody doesn't like it.
Exactly. So they're not gonna allow any of that to fly, and it just something needs to change because now you're risking 22 people on each team. Every time someone steps on offense, every time a team steps on defense, these guys aren't jogging through the motion. These guys are going head first,
Mm-hmm.
smacking into things. they sound like car crashes when they hit each other.
Absolutely.
And
Hard
you're gonna get up after that. Like, I want to know what they feel like the next morning. Oh, they go into the training room and what did the trainers do? Here you go. This was clear.
This will help you and not tell you anything about it.
You hit the nail right on the head there, man. Again, I just want to shout out our presenters, WNRC, Nichols College Radio, and New Era Radio, presenting to you INNFO8 Debates, live on 97.5 FM. You can hear us on the TuneIn app. You can watch us live on our YouTube live stream, which you'll be able to see at any time this week. You can go right onto our YouTube channel at INNFO8 Debates. Right on YouTube, just type in INNFO8 Debates on YouTube. You'll be able to find our live stream right now for the next 15 minutes. And also, you'll be able to check it out for the rest of the week, too. It'll be up there. You can see what the show's all about, see what the buzz is all about. But also want to shout out my colleagues here. You can follow them on Facebook as Brian Camacho and John Mercado. Also, you can follow me, George Rivera. It's a picture of my daughter, so you'll know exactly who it is. It's actually Georgie Rivera with a G. And also, you can go ahead and follow our cameraman, Daniel Rodriguez, on Facebook as well. And again, we're out here live on YouTube Live, INNFO8 Debate Sports Channel. So let's go ahead and keep on this conversation for the last 10 minutes. Substance abuse policies.
John, that article that you brought up to us, it hits the nail right on the head. Because they are getting prescribed how many pills daily?
6 a week.
And when a medical use of a herb can fix all that, it has to be politics.
And it's not hurting you either. What does it do to you?
It just, I don't know.
Makes you laugh.
Makes you laugh. It makes you feel good.
Laugh, hungry, happy, hungry, sleepy.
Yes.
You know, and it reduces stress. It's a stress reliever.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
slows your mind up.
You're hitting and hitting and hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You want to relax. It's like a muscle relaxer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But no, it can't go through. The NFL won't allow it. Oh, it popped up in your urine. You're suspended the whole time.
They're
But-
really trying to exit out of the game. They're trying to keep it absolutely out of the game. They'd rather give these guys opioids, man.
Why?
I don't understand.
Keep them playing.
You know, I've honestly
But-
gone through a lot of
The thing
opiate
is,
things.
the money,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's their decisions,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
player's decision on whether or not they take it or not,
But
or they
think
end their
about it.
career.
Think about it. You're in a player's shoes. You're Ray Lewis. You're whoever you think you are. For example, hypothetically. Now, they're telling you you're gonna get suspended for doing what you know is gonna make you feel better, and it's not as bad as what they're trying to give you. But if you take it, you know you're gonna get suspended. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna be out of games. It's gonna be a bad look for your image. You know. So what are you gonna do? You have to. You have to take the perks. You have to take the bikes.
You have to. You're the greatest player of all time, and they're giving you medications to stay in the game. You're
Yeah.
gonna take it.
It's like
You're
they give
gonna-
you no choice.
They give you no choice. I mean, either you stay hurt and you end your career here,
Yep.
or you take this medication where it's gonna give you a little bit more years in your career, and then after, when you're all settled, you're retired, and you want to have your family time, you can't
Because it's
because
affecting.
it's affecting you and your family.
So the NFL is putting these players on the ropes.
And plus, you're dealing with bankruptcy,
Yep.
where you can't afford the medication.
Yep.
You know, and that's why a lot of people suffer and have.
$3,000 a pill rather than a medical marijuana card that'll get you free marijuana for the week. You know, it's just crazy. I don't understand how you could give someone something that's really, you know, in your heart is gonna kill them. Kind of like chemotherapy. Did you guys know that chemotherapy
They give you-
kills 97% of the people it touches?
Wow.
Did you guys know that chemotherapy is one of the only procedures that doctors profit on?
It's a business.
It's a business out
It's a
there, man.
business.
And
They
it's
trying
sad
to
to
make money.
hear. It's sad to hear, man. It's sad to hear. I thought, you know, we built this country on morals.
No, we built this country on invasion and sweeping out the people who are already here.
Mhm.
That's how we really built this country. It's all about the dollar, the
It
pound,
is.
the euro.
It is, but you know, we can't go back and change what our ancestors
Nope.
did.
No.
You know what I mean? And my ancestors actually don't even come from here, but I'm just speaking for Americans in total because I was born here. You know, and it's a completely different America than it was in 17 whatever,
Not
you
the
know?
same.
It's not the same. I just think that we get the bad rap because it's America. It's America. We're the top dog.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're the one that everybody's coming at. So it's almost like how LeBron is in every conversation. You know what I mean? He's got the target on his back. You know what I mean?
Do you think he takes supplements?
I wouldn't say he takes supplements. I'm not sure.
He's had a career where he hasn't been out of the game for a week.
I mean, the guy's a freak of nature.
The guy is a freak of nature.
He takes drug tests just like the rest of them, though.
Exactly.
Everyone's mandated to. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but perks and bikes don't pop up in drug
Nah.
tests. But now that we're back onto this,
You think he's taking the Mollies and them Percocets?
I don't know. He might hang out with Future. But on a serious note, it's sad to see what our NFL is doing.
It really is, man. It really is, because you're watching this on Sundays with your families. You're all having a good time. People go and pay hundreds of dollars to watch these games, and you're not really realizing you're watching people kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's like the gladiators back in the day. It's our version of it.
It's war.
And the funny thing is, when people get hurt, people don't even care. If you think about it, if let's say all these people are watching the game and someone goes down,
Brady goes down, how many people are going to be happy? How many people are going to be happy?
A lot of people are going to be happy.
Everyone outside of that Rhode Island and Maine
New England
border
area,
is going to be going ecstatic.
but these people aren't people. They're fantasy players now.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. Oh, he broke his leg. Man, I just lost a fantasy player.
I just lost out on that $100 buy-in.
These people.
Business.
It's all about business. A
Business.
person in the NFL isn't a person. It's just a visualization of what we see tossing around a pigskin. Because when someone goes down, oh dang, another one steps up. But now, that person that goes down, it's funny because they're getting drugs that are prescribed that to us regular people only after surgery, but yet they're getting it weekly, daily. Why is that? How come I'm only allowed to, I broke my arm, so I'm going to get prescribed a little bit of whatever they give me, but this NFL player is having to take this every day of his NFL career.
They know what they sign up for, though. It's kind of like, I feel like that whole CTE lawsuit that they tried to, settle with a bunch of former players that were basically coming after the NFL because they didn't want to give them the money that they deserved. You know, you gotta have something set up to take care of your players in a league like that. You have to. And I think that settlement is bullcrap, to be honest, because they're honestly appealing. By the time that the players that were affected by this get a chance to see the rewards, they're gonna be gone. And the NFL knows that.
And the NFL has money to keep doing it, keep prolonging.
All day.
Smart for people like Calvin Johnson to end their career quick, huh?
That's a good topic.
That is a good topic.
And what's his name?
Patrick Willis of the
Patrick
49ers.
Willis, 49ers.
I'm pretty sure, if you guys want to search it up, I'm pretty sure to get a pension for the rest of your life in any sports league, you have to play at least 4 years? I thought it was 10.
No.
I thought it was 10 to have a life pension.
I think that's too long. Because the NFL is considered a not-for-long league.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Half these running backs don't even make it, so I think it's like 3 to 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Just to
I
be.
thought it was 10.
No, that's
That's a lot, too.
that might be in golf.
Maybe I'm thinking NBA. I'm not sure. But I think it is NBA. If it's
That's
10
a
years in the
long.
NBA.
That's a long season. I mean, that's a long career, 10 years. But the NFL is a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think they do 3 to 5. But the NFL needs to come up with a better game plan, better way to handle their players. You know, these dudes after the game they're not mentally right up there.
And it's an industry that makes billions.
Repeat that.
And an industry that makes billions and billions of money.
With bees?
Just by the Super Bowl. Just with the Super Bowl alone. And they can't give their players.
And all they want to do is expand.
And
they're going to Europe.
Come on now.
They got games in Mexico.
So why can't you give this player, you know what they should do?
The proper medication where they don't have to suffer in the long run.
They'd be solving their problems if they let medicinal marijuana in the game. They'd be solving their problems because guys, the injuries are gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
with the game.
give these guys their weed, They won't be on Percocets. They won't be messed up at the end of their careers.
They're playing for
They'll
you.
still be functional. You know what I mean? They'll
Mhm.
still have life to live. And who knows, you know? Dude, marijuana cures cancer.
Exactly. Doctors are treating cancer with this.
Marijuana cures cancer. I'm telling you right now, if anyone in my family or you know, anyone I know had cancer, I would really hope that they would get the medicinal marijuana treatment rather than the chemotherapy, because chemotherapy, I'm sorry, I just have a sour taste in my mouth from
Yeah.
it.
Not
You
a lot
know,
of people.
it's not cool, especially when I found out that doctors profit off of that stuff. It's just iffy. It's
That's
just
what
got
they
a lot
recommend.
of,
That's what they recommend.
it's just got a lot of clouds over it for me. It
It's
just
our
makes everything
government.
so fishy.
It's our government trying to kill people off.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Why treat someone? In chemotherapy, don't they give you small doses of cancer or whatever?
They give you radiation. Basically, they expose you to something that actually causes cancer.
Exactly.
Causes cancer,
It's terrible. It's
Why?
terrible.
So you're gonna treat me by giving it to me? I feel like that's the way to limit numbers, to keep population in control. But
You're just
That's
making
a story
the
for
pain
another
worse.
day, baby.
you know what I'm saying? But thank you guys for tuning in.
Oh man, it was a great show. It was a great show today.
Yeah.
We covered a lot. We went all the way from you know, sending our condolences to Chris Berman's wife who passed away this week, all the way down to Rookie of the Year. We talked about NBA, KD hopping on the Warriors. You know, do they need KD to beat the Cavs? Personally, I think they do, but I still don't think he's great enough. And quote me on that, because he lost once with the two leading MVP candidates this year. So I don't think he's going to do it with the last two MVPs. You know what I mean? But other than that, we'd like to give one last shout out to WNRC, Nichols College Radio, and New Era Radio for presenting to you guys INNFO8 Debates. We're here every Sunday from 10 p.m. to midnight. We're always going to be on YouTube Live from now on at our INNFO8 Debates channel on YouTube. All you have to do is type in INNFO and the number 8 at the end with the word debates after, and you'll be able to watch us live 10 p.m. to midnight. And you can even catch the show on that channel all week. It's going to be up there for you guys to go take a look at and see what all the buzz is about. But it's been a great show. Any final thoughts, my friends?
Make sure to leave comments. Anything you want us to talk about, we'll talk about. Suggestions, we're open to anything, guys.
Follow Brian Camacho on Facebook. Follow John Mercado on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. We are on everything. Follow Daniel Rodriguez, our cameraman. Georgie Rivera, Georgie the Truth Rivera. But just look up Georgie Rivera, because the truth ain't in there. Not everybody knows the truth.
Coming with big
Yeah.
topics next Sunday.
Yep, next Sunday is going to be a great show. We're going to be here at the same exact time, 10 p.m. to midnight. Again, thank you very much, WNRC, Nichols College, and New Era Radio for presenting to our audience INNFO8 Debates. We out. Everyone in the 508, have a safe night. Everyone at the Hill, have a great, great summer. We appreciate you guys. We'll be right here next week, same time, same place. Be ready to debate. Be ready to call in. Man, I don't even want to let this microphone go right now.
God bless, guys.
I don't even
God
want to let
bless.
this microphone go.
Let it
You
go,
guys
let it
have
go.
a blessed night. Thank you very much for listening.
We bodied that.
Great.
We fucking
Yo,
bodied
that show
show.
was straight,
Should we still
like, wow.
We're still live?
Yeah, we are still live.
Let's go, man. That's a good show, man. Make sure
Always
y'all tune
sports,
in
baby.
next Sunday. We'll be here every day with the crew. You see what we do. out here.
Sunday with the crew.
Don't be scared to come in, man. We wolves over here. We take it, you know.
We'll take it easy.
Come on.
We'll take it easy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, you had that. You had that, bro. Yo, I have to get that Wi-Fi on this car.
Yeah, I don't know why.
'Cause I have everything on it. I have everything on it.
You know what you might have to do, bro? You see those things there? Cable plugged into that. So you know what I'm saying? So it makes it easier.
Yeah, we still need that picture, right?
Alright, gonna add it to my notes. Save.
Found it.
You charge it?
Charger.
Where was it?